Neenah Fire Rescue.
Okay, so what is going on here? What's the situation? What can you tell us so far?
So at about 10 o'clock this morning, we got dispatched for a fire alarm, and briefly after the fire alarm, crews were dispatched. First crew arrived. They had heavy black smoke coming from the south side of the Neenah Foundry building here, and they quickly dispatched another company, and then quickly realized we needed to go to a mutual aid box alarm. And so we have gone to the third alarm here. So the fire started in the basement. Not exactly sure what started, but the fire started in the basement and quickly worked its way up into the top level of the fourth floor. So we have crews working at all three levels trying to track down and knock the fire out. We do know it was very hot in the basement where crews were working on their bellies in the basement. But they did a fantastic job. Most of the fire is knocked down. They're trying to track down areas that they couldn't get to initially. So we have departments here from Appleton, Grand Chute, Fox Crossing, Gold Cross is here, Oshkosh. We have Tone and Neenah. So I'm probably forgetting a few, but they're doing a heck of a job. We had so many areas that once the crews go in and do a couple of air bottles, we do rehab. So we have crews backing up the initial crews here, so that's why you see a bunch of trucks here. Mostly it's for staffing, manpower versus having vehicles here. So we have enough water and things, but the crews are doing a great job. They're working very hard to get this knocked down.
And I was just about to ask you that. So, I mean, we do see all kinds of different departments here. Is that necessary in a fire like this?
So a fire like this, it was coming out of 3 different doors on 2 different sides of this large building. And we had initially had 7 firefighters respond, 3 and 3, and then our ladder truck has 3 also. On multi-level building like this, and then working with a couple bottles of air, backup crews and more backup crews are needed. So again, more of it is for not so much the trucks in the water, it's for the staffing so that crews can take a break, get some water, change their bottles, and then send another crew back in to do the work. So they're continually just rotating crews through as they do the work because, like I said, the temperatures were so hot inside, you're dealing with probably some kind of oil type of components, and so it gets very hot once it starts.
Do we know how many workers or employees are here or employed here, and if there are any injuries?
That's a great question. I don't know exactly the number, but the Neenah Foundry fire crew did a great job of accountability. So that was the very first thing when we arrived on scene, is to make sure everybody was accounted for. There were, like I said, some of the fire brigade members walking around making sure all the employees were in one spot so they could do an accountability. So in that respect, the Neenah Foundry did a great job accounting for employees. Nobody is hurt that we are aware of. So everybody made it out. Nobody's hurt. Like I said, we do have Gold Cross and Oshkosh Fire Ambulance here just for that purpose, in case somebody does get hurt, smoke inhalation, that type of thing.
Any next steps? What happens next? What can we expect?
We'll probably be here for quite a while. They're going to probably do a little overhaul here and work with the foundry as to a cause. And once the fire gets knocked down and we can see we're gaining some control, you'll periodically see crews leave so we can get them back to their, back into their districts, and so that they can, get back to their, their city. So that's kind of what you're going to see. It's probably going to be a slow process because we are dealing with 4 floors of building. So, but we want to make sure that the fire is out before we start sending people back. But that's kind of the process right now.
Yeah, I was just saying, are people going to go back to work today, do you know?
People probably not in that area, or probably I think it was the shipping receiving area. I'm not sure what the basement level is called, but the part of the building is shipping and receiving. So my guess is that they will not be going back in that area. I think other parts of the plant, because it's so large, that is probably under full operation yet. So.
Thanks, Chief.
All right, you're welcome.
Awesome.
Yes.